What it do, everybody? Welcome to the Boost View podcast, and thank you everybody so much for liking and subscribing on the last video. The winner of last week's $10 gift card is Zach Miles 3069, I think is what their username was. It'll show up right here on the video. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that gift card, Zach.
Thank you guys so much for all the likes and comments you've been leaving on our videos. We love and appreciate every single one of you as we continue to grow our amazing podcast channel.
I love you guys. If we can get this video to 30 likes, we'll do another giveaway, and it's going to be a $10 gift card this time. So go ahead, do that like, do that subscribe, and we'll see you guys there.
Thanks, guys. Welcome everybody to the Boost View podcast. Here on the Boost View podcast, we like to talk about Nintendo. God damn it, Gabe.
Hi, Austin. How are you? What are we reviewing today?
What's the game?
What is it?
Today, we're reviewing Majora's Mask, the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Today, it is just
There we
us
go.
three. It's the three boys, the ones you know, the
Three
ones
Stooges.
you love, the Three Stooges. It's us three.
Three
So,
Mouseketeers.
as we said, we are going to be reviewing the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Let's go ahead and get into it, boys. So,
Let's do it. Let's go.
Like always, now in the future, for now or ever in the future,
Forever and
we
ever.
have Fuse writing the lovely questions. I always like to start with how did we first play these games, and then we can get further into these questions. So, how do we first play these games? What's your memories associated with that? Gabe, you start us off. Tell me about it.
So this was one of those Zelda games I never truly owned myself, at least on the Nintendo 64. It would always be at a friend's house or somewhere else that was not my place where I was playing it. I did get my hands on that golden cartridge. It wasn't, I think there were two different gold cartridges. There was one that was worth a lot of money. And then there was another one that was a little bit more rare, but it was kind of standard maybe. I think I had that one. I only played it a tiny bit because back then I was more like, I want to play Wind Waker, I want to play Twilight Princess. So I think the furthest I actually got in Majora's Mask, it was funny, oddly enough, at my friend Jack's house, and it was, I want to say, the Goron Mountain, the snowy village area place. But I mean, I didn't have too much time ever really playing the game. It was mostly just me watching my friends and spending time with them, seeing how the game is.
Well, and that's sometimes the best way to experience video games. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know. I felt that way about, oh my gosh, what was it? It was before I even played Pokemon, because I stole it from my brother, right?
That's right.
I played
Yeah.
I watched my brother play Pokemon for a few days
Yep.
before I was like, actually, I want to play Pokemon. And I stole it from him, and I took it like the evil older brother that I am. No, but. Yeah, no, my first experience was actually on the 3DS remake. So when the 3DS remake came out, I played the game that way. That's how I also first played Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time, though, I actually went back and replayed on the N60, or I did it on the N64 Virtual Console. That was on the Wii U.
The 3DS version is the best version for both.
Yeah, the 3DS version is the best version of both of them. They look better. They have so many quality of life features that add to that. Etc. Etc. If you can get a 3DS and totally don't hack it, you can get a good copy of both of those games. We'll talk more about Ocarina of Time next week with our lovely guest, Just Janie. A little spoilers for you guys.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I played on the 3DS and I had a really good time with it. I definitely think it's one of the most difficult Zelda games. I think it's the darkest in terms of theme. But I kind of like that about it. I don't think it's like this stellar game. It should be like the best in the series or whatever. But I definitely think that it's good because it's different, and I appreciate that it's so different from the rest of the Zelda series. What about you, Fuse? What have your interactions with this game been?
Well, my only interaction with this game is the review that I read 30 minutes ago. Before going on to the podcast.
You haven't even seen anybody play it? Do you even understand the mechanics of it?
I know that it's a 3-day cycle, and it's a simple fact that you're trying to go and avoid it I know it sucks. I hate those type of cycles. They're garbage, especially when you have to go and relive the same exact 3 days. It's garbage. And the fact that you're trying to prevent a catalytic event basically happening. As far as like what I've seen about the game, I like the fact that it for trying to think of the right words here. I like the fact that they went and took a very different role than some of the other Zelda games in the past, especially from it's like the opposite side of Ocarina of Time with the elements that they introduced.
Yes.
For instance, like, oh my God, Link's not himself. He got transformed again.
Right.
So now we have to go
Yeah.
Well, I guess will this be the first time he got transformed to something besides like the because we talked about him in the Twilight Princess of him being a wolf. So
I think this
I think this is the first time that he can like voluntarily transform into other beings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was because I feel like Ocarina of Time didn't transform into anything because like
In A
he
Link
was
to the
just Link.
Past. In A Link to the Past, you turn into a bunny when you first enter the Dark World, or it looks
A
or is it-
bunny?
It's like it's
Yeah.
a very small pixelated bunny thing, but it's a very quick thing, and it doesn't happen ever again in the game once you
Oh my God.
fix yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Voluntarily, like as an ability, this is the first time that Link transforming into anything was a thing.
And you play
Bunny Link,
instruments.
little bunny foo Link, dude, crazy.
Bonbon.
So let's talk about the mechanics. Let's talk. So we have in the questions we have stuff about the 3-day cycle, and we also have the difference from the other games and tone. So let's talk about the mask mechanic and the 3-day cycle. So we already mentioned 3-day cycle is something. The way this game works is that you are in the forest. This is a technical sequel to Ocarina of Time. It is a direct sequel, and you encounter the Skull Kid. Skull Kid steals your stuff, including a mask from the mask salesman that is called Majora's Mask. Oh my God, it's the name of the game. And
oh my God.
yeah, it's right there. See, look at
I'm wearing it, bro. Stay away from me. I'm cursed.
Oh my God.
Anyways, the moon's got a big ugly face on it, and Majora wants to bring it down into the earth and cause the apocalypse. So you have 3 days to stop the apocalypse, and if you don't stop it, you basically get the Song of Time, and you can play the Song of Time, and you can reset the 3-day cycle. So the whole point of this game is that there's the one main mechanic of this game is that you're constantly learning what everybody's doing in this 3 days. You're learning what the mask salesman does during the 3 days. You're learning what the hotel people do at 8 a.m. on the first day. You're learning what they do. Oh, okay, once I've gotten this item, I can do this with this guy at 9 p.m. on this day.
There he is.
There's the ugly moon. That's the guy.
It's him.
There he is. He's gonna kill Gabe. No, Gabe, no, Gabe, no. Ah!
It's
Oh my
okay.
God.
I'm just gonna delete him really quickly. He's been deleted.
Dude, when did you get a picture of my high school soccer coach? What the hell? That's crazy.
Oh my God. Does your soccer coach also control the tides?
Keep running, Fuse.
The tides in the run, damn it.
Yeah, that's the first main mechanic, and then Gabe, tell us about the mask mechanics.
So the mask mechanics, the first one you get is the Deku Scrub one, but all of them have their own special abilities. Like the Deku mask lets you blow. Is it snot bubbles or just like
sort of
They look
sap
kinda like
bubbles.
Yeah, I always thought they were snot just because they're like yellow, green, whatever.
Yeah, and they come out your nose.
Exactly.
Your Birdo nose.
Who would ever get
hole.
that commissioned? Whoever actually, could you just like give me a
Shigeru
mask that gives me the
Miyamoto,
power
that
to
too.
like throw my mucus into bubbles, bro? That'd be sick as fuck.
Delicious. But
I'm gonna get all the Riz ladies.
But so the masks, so the Majora or the Deku one lets you blow the bubbles. The Goron one lets you roll around really quick, and you have like a spiky. You're spiky, so it can damage, and you go fast. And then the Zora one lets you swim in water pretty quickly. You're crazier Zora. And then the Fierce Deity one, which is everyone agrees is the coolest, right? It's the fucking Fierce Deity. It's where you become giant. You have a huge sword, and oh my God, it's awesome. And there's a bunch of other masks that have abilities, like the bunny mask. That one lets you run really quickly. I feel like there's like a weird stone one, or it's like a very like straight, simple face. It almost looks like Dream's mask. If you guys know Dream,
I know what you're talking about.
I forget what that does, but
Minecraft Dream.
Minecraft
Really?
Dream. I don't even watch his videos, but I remember it looks kind of like but whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool. It adds a, it's a unique, because you also have the items in this game.
This video now that we've technically mentioned him.
That's right. That's right. There we go.
We
really
talk
want
about
that community
Dream
here,
in this
though.
game.
Dream is in Zelda. Or
Oh my God, confirmed?
That's crazy. Dream confirmed.
That's crazy.
That's the thumbnail. No.
But
Continue.
the masks are just basically they're items in this game, and then of course give you cosmetic appearance. Oh, and then the Deku mask, you can also like kind of walk on water, or you skip across water. You have like
Yes.
a few skips you can do, so that's kind of cool. And you can go into the little Deku plants and spit yourself up in there, and you kind of like come down like Kirby with a little parachute or whatever. Yeah, it's really cool. I think it adds a really, really cool dynamic to the game. I still don't like the game too much because of the timing mechanic, but it is one of the most unique games. And all these masks are obtained. Well, most of them are obtained through, I think, side quests besides like the main one, like the Goron and the Deku Scrub one.
Canon masks, and then there's like optional masks.
Yeah.
There's like, I think
The snot bubble one is optional, right?
And then no,
that's
literally the first one.
the very first
with.
one. Yeah, you actually.
That is so saddening.
It's so weird. It is so fucking weird.
So,
That
Fuse
just
for you,
gave
for
me
somebody who hasn't
depression.
played the game, for Fuse and anyone else who hasn't played the game, right? So the game, like I was saying, you start out, then the Skull Kid steals your stuff, and he steals the mask salesman's mask, which is Majora's mask. From there, you go to there's 4 different regions that you have to conquer, and I think this region is called Akala. Is that right? I don't know. You could look it up. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, it's
look it up for me.
Termina.
Termina, that's
Termina.
it. The whole instead of Hyrule, you're in Termina is what it's called.
Yeah.
So you go to 4 different regions. There's a region for the Dekus. There's a region for the Gorons. There's a region for the Zora, and then there's a 4th region that's kind of like a ghost barren
Gerudo deserty.
Yeah, kind of sort of Gerudo desert. So in the Deku region, you're solving the crisis of like the king is like trying to burn all the monkeys on this at a stake because he thinks that the Deku king thinks that they captured her the princess, when actually it was the boss's name is Akala. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
Or it's T'Challa. It's T'Challa because he goes T'Challa. He like sings.
Oh,
The
yeah.
bosses in this game are really cool. I love the bosses in this game. The temples as well are also like really well done. So there's 4 main temples. You go through and you free the monkeys from the grass realm, and you get the ability to eventually basically Fuse. What happens in each region is you get a mask, and you're like stuck in that form until you get to a certain point, and then once you get to a certain point, you can like take the mask off on and off voluntarily.
Okay.
When you get to the Goron region, what happened was the big strong hero guy is dead. He died in like the blizzard. There's a blizzard, then the Goron town was freezing, and he was trying to go and get spring water to bring back to the village. He dies on the way there, and you find his like spirit, and then you get his mask, and then you put on his face, and you turn into him. But you're wearing like your little green cap, and that's kind of the story for all of the masks. Is that you are a recently deceased character. That is relative to some of the characters that you interact with, and then you solve the region's like problem or issue, and then you go on to the next area. So in the darkest one, in my opinion, is the Zora one. You literally watch the guy die in front of you. He's on the beach, and he's like, "I'm dying. My wife is pregnant with my kids. I need you to go help them." And that's what I'm saying.
What
it's
the
like
fuck?
really, it's really dark. Yeah, it's like super dark.
He's not the snot bubble one.
No, this is the snot bubble one's the very first one. That's the Deku.
Okay.
Like the grass
Okay.
area. Yeah.
Okay.
So the snot
Sounds like
bubble
that
one,
dude just had hives or something.
it's implied. It's never explicitly stated who you're related to, but it's implied that there's like a butler of the king, and the butler guy is like, "You look a lot like my son," or he says something like that in passing when he like talks to you. So it's implied that it's like his like relative of some type.
Okay.
Anywho, the Zora one's my favorite area because I think it has some of the best swimming mechanics in any game. Like, you're not just like kind of like bubbling around, you actually like kind of go into like a dolphin mode when you wear the Zora dolphin mask. Yeah, and it's pretty, and it feels pretty fluid. Like it's a nice like, and you're swimming around. And there's a bunch of cool mini games with it. The water temple in this game is probably the most complicated temple in any Zelda game. I will say though, it is the most. It has like all these tubes and like things you have to like swim through.
It's a water park.
It's really cool, but it's also like really like it takes a while to beat.
Yeah.
Because it's really complicated, especially if it's your first time playing through it and you don't understand like what's going on, and you have to change like which way the tubes are flowing and like it's a really complicated temple.
You know what? You know what we call that?
Crazy.
We call that the water temple syndrome, since that's what they like to do with water temples.
Yeah, that's it. It started with Ocarina of Time, and then in Majora's Mask, they like really up the ante, and then I mean they do that with the water temple on Wind Waker. They do that with the water temple. I mean, even the one in
Twilight Princess.
That one's fairly complicated as well with the water. You have to change all the water flows into different places in the temple. It's crazy.
So are there temples in every Zelda game?
Except for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I guess you could argue
the divine
Tears of the Kingdom has
beasts are
temples. You could argue Tears of the Kingdom has temples.
Well,
like
they're called the temples too. But they're specifically called temples. But then the divine beasts in Breath of the Wild are referred to as divine beasts. But those are supposed to be the temples.
The temples.
Yeah.
But yeah, every Zelda game had every Zelda game up until Breath of the Wild basically was a dungeon crawler. Like that was like the whole, like you would have a bits of story and then you would get to a dungeon and you'd be in a dungeon for like hours.
Yeah.
And you'd be just like crawling through each pit of the dungeon, solving puzzles, beating enemies. Like that was the bread and butter of the Legend of Zelda until as of recent. And then they went in a totally different direction. I'm not saying that the direction is bad. I think it's actually very good. And I think it's what the series needed to survive, but that's just me. Anywho, so that's the that's the general story. So there's a giant in each region, and then you learn the giant song that awakens them. So like you're probably like, wait, but if you solve the problem, how do you solve all those problems in 3 days? You do have to beat each region in 3 days, which is very stressful. And like beating a temple in 3 days is like super stressful and not fun.
Because the days are short. Even when you get the reverse Song of Time or whatever, and you can slow down time. It's still it's an old game, so in old games time flies, bro. I mean, you thought Stardew Valley was tense and really like, oh god, I can't fucking do it. You play Majora's Mask and you will have a new found hatred and fear.
How long is it? Like 2 hours?
It's I want to say 3 days. It's probably like 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes IRL for a day.
10 minutes a day?
Okay, maybe 10 to 20. I don't. It's been a long time, but it's around that, I would say. How long is it? Yeah.
And all you get to play with is snot bubbles?
Exactly, dude.
What the fuck?
The entire 3 day cycle takes about an hour.
Wow.
So you have an hour.
So that's like 20
IRL
minutes
time.
basically per
So
day.
you have an hour to beat every giant in every region.
And that's not.
Yeah.
You have an hour to beat one region's giant.
Yeah.
And you can technically there's like a halfway point in each region, like basically like pre-dungeon, where you basically can like unlock it early when you go, like if you reset the 3 days.
You set like a checkpoint flag.
The way this usually goes is there's like a problem in the region, you solve the problem in the region, and then you get access to the temple. Then you go then you usually reset the 3 days, then you go to do the temple, and then you reset the 3 days again because it usually takes the 3 days to solve the temple. You can technically do it sooner than that, but that's usually the bread and butter of this game. Is like you go to the region, you figure out what's going on in the 3 days, and like solve the problem that unlocks the temple. Reset the day cycle, then go and do the thing that, or if you have access to it, go to the area that you have access to, and then
And what happens once you reset the days? Also, what happens to your rupees and items?
Oh yeah, you lose all your rupees and items unless you put them in like a bank.
Yeah.
There's a bank that you can put your rupees in.
Whoever
but you lose all
played
your,
this game as a kid is now a speed runner.
They're probably traumatized.
That's what's happening.
They probably are.
They probably are
a traumatized speedrunner.
A traumatized speedrunner. Small Ant, sorry, that sucks.
Shout out to all our fallen kings and queens.
I bet if you ask Small Ant, this is probably his favorite game. He's probably this is a great.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's a great Zelda game. It was my first one ever.
This is
like, oh, no wonder why.
My biggest gripe with the whole 3 day cycle. I mean, I know you can slow down. My buddy Jack, he's always like, "Gabe, you can slow down." I know. I understand that. And if you're, but Zelda, I've always said the Zelda is a game about exploration, taking your time, taking in that beauty, smelling the roses along the way. But when just when it just shoves this in your face and it forces you to not explore everything, even if this is a bit of a smaller map compared to other Zelda games. It's just, I don't know, that really like tarnishes, is that the word I'm looking for? Tarnishes kind of just the image of the game to me. And it just
stains it. Yeah.
And I understand they were going for a little bit of a different route with this. I totally get that, but that's just me. I mean, when I play, like I said, when I play a Zelda game, I want to just like take everything in and kind of just go at my own pace. You know how we all took 500 years to play Tears of the Kingdom? What if like we were timed the whole time? You know, you can't take it all in. And as a kid, you know, Majora's Mask, whoa, this brand new $40 game, whoa, or 50, however much it was.
Crazy.
Oh, you got to do it in 3 days.
Go to do it, magic.
But without the
Also,
time mechanic
fuck
in this
your
game,
money.
Yeah, literally. But without the time mechanic, obviously that's what this game is built around. But
so with the Song of Slow Time, like, so there's a song you get basically that makes it so each day lasts longer, like in game. Without that song, 3 days in Termina lasts 54 minutes, so less than an hour.
They're just normal.
With the song of Inverted Song of Time, which triples the amount of real time, it takes 2 hours and 42 minutes to get through 3 days, which is way more doable. Especially you basically need that to get through the water temple. Like, it is crazy that they expect you to like do it all in 3 days.
So if you beat one temple, do you have to redo it again if you reset the time?
No.
If you beat it.
Yeah.
If you haven't, what sucks though is if you're like halfway through a temple and then the day gets like, and then the last day ends.
Yeah.
Because then everything does reset.
That's
like it sucks. It's bad. It's really
minus
difficult.
3 points to rating.
So yeah, that's basically how that goes.
Crazy.
However, I think the things that make this game super positive are the side stories, the side quests.
Yeah.
I think they're really interesting and really cool, and it makes me sad that you don't really see as in-depth side quests in the future games.
Right.
Like, one of them is you go to Lon Lon Ranch and there's literal aliens that show up and you have to shoot the aliens and you have to like shoot aliens away. Like, you literally, like, I think a literal UFO. Am I mistaken?
Zelda goes Galaga.
Yeah.
Galaga.
There's that quest. Then there's what's some other, like, I mean, there's the Great Deity Mask, which is something you get if you beat all the quests. There's the quest of the two lovers.
The two lovers, that's one, yeah.
The two lovers is a really heartfelt quest. Basically, like, one girl loves this guy, and then the guy gets turned to a kid, and then him is in kid form, and you're trying to like get them back together, not like back together like in a sexual way, but just like physically back together to know that they're like okay.
Right.
Okay. And you're trying to get them back together, and then you finally do eventually, and you get a mask out of it. Yay. It's usually it's like one of the hardest masks to get, like side quest masks to get. Mm-hmm. So you do that, and it's like when you get them back together, it's always like the final day, and so then you always watch them like kind of die together in each other's arms as the moon's like crashing down.
Don't they like dance and spin and stuff?
They're like dancing and like just kind of embracing each other. It's really sad. It's like really sad.
God. You get the ship together and then you just get to watch it crash, man.
It's like that's like The Witcher. Like it's like all these really inspired like side quests that obviously don't really matter to the main story. You know, it's just seeing normal.
But they're
people.
really in this.
Yeah.
Oh, Romani Ranch is what it's called in this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this one's good.
Sounds like a dressing.
I know, Romani. Yeah, like
Romani.
Romani
how to protect
Ranch.
How to protect Romani Ranch. Anyways, yeah, if you look here, you can see there's like, I'll put this in the video. Austin, remember to edit this in. So there's like literal little aliens, guys. I don't know if you guys are watching. Yeah, look at these. They're like aliens. They're not even posed. They're just aliens that are like coming over the hill. Yeah, that's what it's implied, that they're just extraterrestrial beings that are trying to steal all the cows.
Get your spaceships out of here.
They're trying to steal the cows. That's funny. That's
Yo,
that's literally the whole. And the dog runs around and barks at stuff. That's really funny.
Yo, is that Sparks, I love how the dog.
It is, bro.
I love how
oh my god,
the dog in this game hates you when you're in your Deku form.
Oh yeah,
like,
it tries to
like
eat you and attack you.
So yeah, that's a cool side quest. That one of my favorite side quests in the game. I don't know, Gabe. Do you have any side quests you remember in this game that you really enjoy, or
The Two Lovers was
that I
one
hadn't
that I remember watching Jack do.
Hey, yeah.
And then I do remember the Romani Ranch one as well. That one's pretty cool. And then the Fierce Deity Mask one is
Yeah.
crazy. I love that mask.
Another really good one is like this one kind of teaches you how to do the time mechanic and like how to you get like a journal that kind of when you observe stuff you can kind of like see, oh, this is what this person does at this day during this time. There's like a lady who always gets robbed on the first day in the park at like noon or at like night or something like that.
Yeah. Oh
my
and so
God.
if you like wait and you stop the robbery, you get I think the bomb mask or something like that.
Oh, cool.
Which basically lets you like put the mask on and you become a bomb. And you just
Oh
blow
yeah,
up.
and it's yeah, and you can actually
yeah.
like put a shield right in front of you and it won't hurt you because you're
Correct,
shield,
yeah.
that's pretty cool. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's pretty cool. Anyways, lots of cool side quests like that.
There's a huge fan theory for this game. Do you, Austin?
Give me the fan theory.
So
give me the fan theory. Tell me.
This game is supposed to there's a lot of people are like, oh, Termina actually isn't real. This is Link crossing to the other side because he died from Skull Kid. When Skull Kid stole Epona in the beginning of the game. So this is like Link.
Yes.
This is Link going through is it the 4 or 5 stages of grief or of death or whatever? And like
so that is a fan theory. It's not something. There's an article like an interview back in the day with Iwata that says, that's just that it's a coincidence and it's not a full.
Not true.
That's not that wasn't the intended route of it.
Or
like,
is that what they're trying to
emotions
tell us so we don't figure it out? We crack the
I mean,
code.
that's true. That could also be it. You're not too wrong on that. But anyways,
I always thought that
continue,
was
Gabe.
cool. Oh, and then do you remember Ben Drowned? Do you guys remember Ben Drowned?
No, Ben Drowned.
It's so stupid. So there was a creepypasta or whatever. That thing. There was a haunted Majora's Mask cartridge on on one of the Nintendo 60. There was a kid named Ben who was playing this game and he drowned one day, after playing this game or something, and his soul haunted the cartridge and it was sold at a store, and if you bought the cartridge, Ben would haunt you, and that was the only whatever that symbol or that statue is that you're showing right there, Austin.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So
it's like this creepypasta meme that everybody knows about Majora's Mask. Such a fun. Sorry, coffee's hitting me on an empty stomach right now. I'm getting all jittery.
Stone Tower, that's what it's called. So in this game, Fuse, to let you know where this devolves from. So
this chick looks like a Titan.
Oh yeah,
that's not a chick. That's you.
That's
like a statue of you.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's a statue of Link. So there's
God.
a mechanic in the final dungeon. Well, not the final. Yeah, I guess this is the final dungeon because you just kind of go up to Majora at one point. Anyways, there's a mask you get, and basically the whole point of this dungeon is that you can put statues down of each of your 4 masks and characters. So the whole point is you're supposed to be pressing buttons in multiple areas at the same time, stuff like that. So the way, here we go. So when you put this is what the statues look like. So when you put these statues down, this is what they look like. And these are already kind of uncanny in a little bit, but this is what the Link one looks like when you put the statue down. And so this is where the haunting story comes from for Ben Drowned, is that he haunted this statue right here, and he basically the statue kind of got possessed and it started moving on its own or something like that. I think that's what the creepypasta says.
Yeah.
I love, dude, N64 era had such cool creepypastas and
God.
legends and
Liminal
urban
space.
urban myths and stuff like that, because it was in that weird part of gaming.
I hate it.
Oh yeah, it's disgusting.
They're terrible. Great value brand Link right there, bro.
It was in that weird space of gaming where L is real was still a thing.
Oh,
and,
I remember that.
All the areas in N64 games were they were
The
existing
back
areas,
rooms.
but they were so they're very much every environment in N64 games were liminal. They're basically liminal spaces. They feel off, but they also feel familiar at the same time.
Yes.
But anyways, that's where Ben Drowned came from. and it's a derivative of this statue right here. They all kind of look creepy because the whole idea is that you're just putting soulless bodies / statues down.
Right.
This game is very dark.
Porcelain dolls
haven't
watching
gathered
you
that
as you
yet.
sleep.
Yeah, this game is very, very dark. It has some really dark themes.
Yo, doesn't okay? So I might be tripping here, but doesn't that big statue of the dude with like the scar on his chest kind of look like Gear 4th Luffy?
Oh yeah, he does look like Luffy a little bit. Yeah, you're right. That's funny. Anyways, so the way this game ends is you gather the 4 giants, which are seen here, and they stop the moon from falling. They stop the moon from falling, and when you stop the moon from falling, you go up into the moon, and then there's like a little mini cutscene dungeon thing. Not really a dungeon, it's just like a little mini thing. And then you fight Majora, or you fight the Skull Kid with Majora's Mask on. Okay. Which, Majora's Mask, the boss fight, is really sick. It's a cool boss fight. So he's like freaking out, right? You go, all right, come on, here we go. So he gets taken over, and then he becomes like a big, like spindly, meaty guy.
Yeah, Majora's Wrath. Oh god.
Yeah, this game was rated E for everybody, and people couldn't believe that because here's a much like higher res version of this boss. Here we go. Yeah, you can see like the muscles and stuff coming out the back of it. That's terrifying. It's a very cool fight though, especially So he's like, I got my muscles and everything. That's basically how that works. It's a crazy boss fight. I think my other favorite boss fight is the Goron boss fight. The way the boss fight works. So the way the Goron mask works is you put it on and then you can like do a spin. You can basically go Sonic style and you do a spin attack and you just roll around and you spin and do that kind of thing. So in this boss fight, it's basically a giant circle track and you are constantly like rolling and spinning around to catch up with the boss, and then like getting on a ramp and like hitting him in the head with your Goron power thing, and then you just keep doing it. It's really, really fun. It's like I remember that boss fight a lot because of how fun it is. I actually don't even remember the boss fight of the water temple, I won't lie, because it's so I can't remember if it's because it's really hard.
Georg! It's called Georg!
Is it?
It's like a big fish. Sorry, dude. I had to go to Hawaii really quickly.
Oh yeah, it is just a big fish, and you're like in a big fish tank with him, and you're just like swimming around.
Gargantuan master fish.
I remember it now.
I would say my favorite base boss is probably Odalwa, the first one. He's actually pretty fun to fight. Like, and he does these chants, and it's kind of creepy. I think it's supposed to be like African kind of tribe. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's a good one. Did you hear me talk about the Goron one?
The Goron, the big arena one.
Like it's a fun one. Okay.
It's a fun one.
Well, that's good. That's good stuff. Gabe, it's that time. It's that time.
Music time. La musica.
Music time.
Musicos.
Music, baby. I hear it. I don't hear it in your mic either, so you're good.
Okay, good.
You're good.
It might bleed a little bit.
This is a great theme. I love this one. It's a great just like vibe, like upbeat but still just like chill.
I don't know why it's doing the morning. I guess just because that's It's a pretty song. It's upbeat. It sounds very like bizarre, kind of maybe Middle Ages a little bit because Zelda, of course. Renaissance.
It definitely has it has a Renaissance vibe to it.
Now, the thing with this game is because of how dark and depressing it is, every song just is a little off, If it's not completely obviously depressing and sad and creepy, it will have those kind of, like dips and like low-key things you'll hear in the background, maybe.
That like, and if I don't even hear it in the fiddle, like in the fiddle in minor key. That's always like what's going on here? See, it doesn't like resolve. It just gets like, something's going on, and then and it's like, no, everything's fine. I guess kind of.
Actually, so
it reflects the denial of of like the town and stuff like that. So. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. And then like each day it progressively gets like sadder. So we obviously that was the first day. That was just the main first day, a lot happier and all those things like that. Let's get to day. I want to kind of skip to day 3.
That's probably.
You can kind of hear just like that. Hear that like.
But then you have the undertone, the distance in the background.
Very like, oh god, like ooh, that sense of dread, and things are coming, like an asteroid is about to hit.
Yeah, like a giant, ugly-faced moon's about to come crash your hopes and dreams.
What does day 3 sound like?
So this is day 3. Day 2 is.
Oh, this is day 3. Okay.
Yeah. Day 2 is kind of just in between, 1 and this one right here. But then you have the final hours, which is like fucking
Everyone's
scary.
in panic.
Yeah. So this is the final hours. The final 12 hours, I think. It sounds like divine.
This is terrible. This sounds like, it sounds like literally apocalyptic. Like you're like, oh fuck, it's over. GG's. Everything's in despair. It's over. GGG. I'm out. See ya. Bye. You're desperate to try and get away and stop the world from ending, or just like not be a part of the apocalypse. Yeah.
Like you can't. Yeah, the whole world is gone. It's not like a nuke being dropped on a city. Get out of town. It's the nuke is dropping on the world.
The moon is colliding with Earth, and Earth will not survive. Nowhere will survive.
So yeah, Clock Town, really cool how it all reflects, the time, like what,
it's
what
cool
day
the
you're
music
on.
changes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is a cool one.
I like how they still do that in modern games, like in Scarlet and Violet. Like when you're out in the field, it's obviously a lot more slow, and the music is like nice and cool and whatever, energetic. And then when you're in a battle, it kind of like picks up, and it's the same song, but it's like evolved.
Yeah.
Of course, But yeah, this is Deku Palace. This is obviously the forest of the game. Before you're in the the Woodfall Temple. But yeah, good song.
My Hero Academia.
More Renaissance-y. Very catchy. Very adventure-y. Maybe a little bit of Indiana Jones.
This is a great song. This is such a good one. This is where they're trying to burn the monkeys alive.
Yes. Those poor monkeys.
Oh.
He's like, oh, well, now I hate it.
This little happy. We're killing
they're having a
monkeys.
great time. They haven't killed them yet. They just have them in a cage over a fire. And they're going to. They haven't done it yet. You're stopping them from killing the monkeys. This is such entertaining content. I'm so glad you guys listen to the podcast.
Oh yeah, love you guys. So that's Deku Palace. The next song I'm gonna do is Termina Field. I forget if it's the same as Hyrule Field or not.
I think it's the same as, I don't know.
I can't remember honestly. I mean, I've definitely been in Termina Field many times, but obviously this is it just became morning. It's not nighttime anymore, and it's the adventurous day theme is about to start. Oh yeah, it is different. Yep,
it is different. It's a bit more nefarious.
Yep.
It still has that theme, but it's like it's got a little bit different notes to it. Yeah, nice.
A lot of
stuff.
So
lots and lots of fun.
So this is actually a
wave
cover.
Bossa Nova.
Is that a Bossa Nova beat? This is a great song. This is actually a cover of one of the songs from Majora's Mask called New Wave Bossa Nova. I think it's part of in the Great Bay Area somewhere. The song itself in the game is cool, but this cover is so good. It's like, it's like a Bossa Nova beat kind of song,
sure, yeah,
jazzy.
listen to it.
But I really do
Not
like
from
this.
the game, but a derivative of the game.
Exactly. And it's, I forget who the, I think Marcus Hedges Trend Orchestra is the orchestra or the creator of this. So, props to them.
Okay, cool.
Got Zora Link right there, jamming his guitar.
Can you look up the band, the Zora Band song?
Oh, yeah.
And also just the Zora domain in this game.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yo, shout out to Marcus Hedges Trend Orchestra. Fuck yeah, dude. This is sick.
Love it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Shit yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude, like Joskies, Broskies.
You're killing it. You're killing it, bro.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh, maybe it's me. Tide.
This is excellent. Thank you for showing us this game.
Yeah, of course. Let's go over to the Zora Band song. So I don't
Zora
think I've
Band
heard this
song.
before. Maybe I have. So
They play it for like a brief bit, but yeah. Oh, it was Legend of Zelda Zora Hall.
oh, okay, cool. Ooh, got some water. The fuck? Is it loud enough?
He's like teaching how to play.
Oh.
I think they're teaching you. I think the way this works is each character teaches you a little bit of the song. They teach you because everybody's like waiting for the concert, right? Because the character that you take over is the lead of the band. He's like the guitarist. So you're learning a piece. Yeah, if you go to skip to the middle part, there's basically you're learning the entire song, and eventually you piece the entire song together.
Ooh, I like that. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's like a Zora piano or whatever. What's the church thing called? The organ, maybe?
Yeah.
Are they gonna play all together? Or ever?
I think so. Keep playing this?
Gotcha.
Ugh, the way that it ends so abruptly is so terrifying. The way they do that.
Is it not?
Not bad. It's a
that
pretty
was
good song. Yes, man.
Oh. Okay.
Keep playing. Keep moving it forward. I'm trying to see if there's like a. I guess not.
Huh.
Okay, maybe this was the wrong thing. Oh well.
Oh well.
Zora's
Domain.
Try the go. Sorry.
Or-
Yeah, try that.
Okay, so this
Let's
is the
listen to
Zora's
the-
Hall.
This is a great area.
Yeah. This is Zora's Domain is always really pretty. It always kind of usually sounds, pretty similar.
Yeah.
I like it. It's just beautiful. I love watery music, very beachy. All that good stuff.
Got beach vibe to it. Oh, I should have put this in my playlist. I'm mad.
Oh, wow.
I'm mad. I should have put this in my playlist.
And if you're not checking out for Vlam Tunes, you need to for all of your Nintendo.
Oh, whatever.
playlist
That's
needs.
literally just my like for funsies channel. It's not even like a real thing. It's just like it's music there.
Do it now, damn it.
Speaking of which, I need my Sunshine playlist. Get that done.
Okay, I'll get you.
Yeah.
I'll get you one. Do you want? I mean, do you just want like beachy water vibes as well?
Beachy water vibes, like I love the upbeats of like Delfino Plaza and all those
Okay.
all-stars
Well,
of Sunshine.
you can use the Glizzy playlist because that has a lot of all Sunshine in it already. And then I will get you a part 2 because there's obviously a lot of music that I missed.
Yay.
Part 2 will be dedicated to you, and you will
Yeah.
be slamming Glizzies 2. Slamming Glizzies 2, Electric Boogaloo.
There you go.
Stone Temple or Tower.
Stone Tower,
good one.
baby.
It's a good one. This is the spooky one.
It's a spooky place. It starts off very, very just creepy. I don't like it. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it.
Oh my god.
I love how this YouTube account, it has 703 subscribers, but then this video itself has 1.1 million views.
That's all it takes sometimes.
Oh,
If you were the first one to upload the OST.
So this game definitely has some bops in it, but a lot more of the music is supposed to be a lot like it's supposed to represent well, I mean obviously it's torment,
death,
tenseness, you know. So that's
Yeah.
what they were going for in this. So you remember like in Metroid Dread how like that game didn't really have like as much memorable tracks as like Metroid Prime or
Yeah, for sure.
Metroid Zero Mission or whatever.
Well, Dread it's literally trying to make you feel like you're being chased by like a horror villain. Like
yeah,
it's
the
so
whole
bad.
time. Yeah, and just
Yeah.
obviously that sense of dread, just like this game. So it's I think it nails it with the music in this game.
For sure.
So this is Majora's Wrath. I know you were talking about that earlier.
Yeah,
Majora's Wrath.
the boss fight. It's a good one.
So this is the final boss, right? Is Majora's Wrath considered the whole boss fight, like all the different phases?
Yeah, I would say it's the final phase at the very least. So
I gotcha. So yeah, this is it. It's just you're fighting a demon, a big old demon. It's Skull Kid is no longer being possessed by it. It is just the mask itself you're fighting. Urgency has never been this urgent.
I don't know, man.
It
I'm
feels
thinking about
very
that.
stereotypical boss fight. I won't lie. It's not very memorable. It's good, but it's not like. Yeah, I know that's the Majora's one. It just sounds like a boss fight from this era.
Exactly.
When I think of like intense music, I always think of the Sonic song when you're about to drown.
Yeah, that's a great one.
I was like, oh god.
Death, destruction.
Anxiety inducing, yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it for that. The thing about this place is, it's just when you go, don't you go on the moon, Austin, to fight the final boss, and you're like,
yes, you do.
You're like, oh god, it's probably about to be like some big, like volcanic, evil background, but it actually is like this weird, like gorgeous.
It's like a temple, or
it's like a field. There's like a big
there's
field
like-
you're in with a tree.
Oh yeah, it's a big field. It's a big, beautiful tree field area. And then you watch a cutscene that's like super, really like creepy and fucked up. And then when you go into the actual boss fight itself, it's like this, like it looks like a temple slash
arena,
like yeah, like a temple or like a chapel or yeah, it's really pretty. Okay, well I think that'll just do it for our discussion on The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Let's give it a little rating, and then I want to talk about some little spicy Switch 2 rumors. I know the second Switch I just got a second. Look at that back there. I got 2 Switches, 1, 2. That's what we're talking about, baby.
Oh my
No,
god,
I'm
you
just
bought
kidding.
another Zelda Switch?
I had to. I have to.
Yeah.
I can't not do content. I'm a Nintendo content streamer. I can't not have a Switch.
I thought you had another Switch, or I thought you had like a.
Why'd you buy two
Yeah,
of the
I
same
have-
one?
I
I'm
have-
confused. Is this
I
like
have
a
this
collector
one.
to use?
No, this one I lost. It went away. I lost it.
How'd you lose
Someone
it?
stole it. Someone stole it off of the Metro. Yeah,
Oh,
someone
Jesus.
stole the actual Switch itself. Yeah.
Damn,
Oh my
That
god.
was fun. Yeah.
Donate $1 million to
sucked.
Austin right now, everybody. By
I
subscribing.
lost all.
Do it.
Okay. All right, you guys ready? Let's dunk on Game Freak. Let's dunk on Game Freak.
It is
I'm
time.
ready.
Fuck Game
I'm
Freak.
so pissed on this one. I'm so mad about this too. They do not have cloud save data supported, and their reasoning is because if they do, people will find exploits to duplicate their Pokemon. And I'm like, so fucking what? People already do that anyways.
Yeah,
so
true.
why do you not have like cloud save data on your modern Nintendo Switch console games? So I lost
We've had
all
that
of my
since the
save data.
PS3, dude. Like,
Yeah,
that's like
you can
15
physical
years
transfer.
ago.
So I can like Bluetooth transfer it or like Wi-Fi transfer it between consoles if I have the previous console,
Right.
which is what I did with all my other consoles. But if I lost it or if it's just gone or my Switch broke, fucking it's gone. I've lost all of my Scarlet and Violet in competitive teams. I lost all of my shinies and everything that I hunted in Pokemon Legends Arceus. I lost all my Sword and BDSP data, which thankfully I had actually transferred all the Pokemon out of those games, so
Right.
I have at least the Pokemon from that in home. But still, the principle is I've lost 4, not just the one, 4 different games worth of data that is hours, and I've sunk hours and hours and hours into in memories. Like
Yeah.
it is white, gone, because fucking Game Freak can't get their fucking shit together. I'm sorry, I'm really going off right now. They can't get their shit together because they operate like a small indie studio, but they're the biggest fucking media franchise in the world. Anyways, that's
their sorry excuse. It's money. I bet it's money and just laziness,
Yeah.
man. It's probably just because I'm sure cloud data does cost, you know, because that's the future, you know, and all that. Oh, they're gonna need an arm and a leg to get that shit. But there's no excuse. We've had cloud save data since before the Xbox One and PS4, like you said, Fuse.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. Just have it. Who cares? There's always gonna be exploits with any fucking update, with any service you give somebody. Fucking cry about it, you whiny babies.
Yeah,
there's no. I can. There is not a good at saying. Anybody could tell. Nope. Not,
literally the entire
change my
Pokemon
mind.
the entire Pokemon competitive scene is built around like people hacking in perfect IV Pokemon
Yep.
and like using those in the competitive scene. Because the game is so and it is just an unspoken, and it's an unspoken like rule/thing about. Anyways, I'm not gonna go into that.
Right.
It's just like people hack your game all the time.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen regardless. Give us cloud save, because holy shit, like that is literally like, I mean, hundreds of hours of my time that is gone. It is wiped. And then you can argue that I'm negligent because I've lost it / it was stolen from me. Sure.
Shit
but
happens though, man.
life happens, and I shouldn't be punished for losing and having to buy and give you more money.
Yeah.
Like that shouldn't be the like goal. Sure, I give buying on a Switch, that's whatever. That's like I lost the hardware. That's just what it is. But like I have to buy another copy of Arceus, again, not the whatever's fault, but I'd have to get anywhere close to that, like get close to that position again. I'd have to sink another like 300 hours into all those games. And I just don't have the time, patience, or drive to do any of that. So, but anyways, so that's my dunk on Game Freak moment. I'm gonna cut that to be like when I'm like super screaming. I'm gonna like have it like cut and be like technical issues.
You know what? So you know, I don't know if either of you have seen Angry Joe Show before on YouTube. He has I think a few million subs, you know, but he's really fucking funny. He does awesome angry rants. One of his, you know. He has a couple different quotes he says regularly. One is, "You done fucked it up," and then another one is, "Fuck you, give me money." You know, like EA bullshit, or like when Nintendo does some bullshit or whatever. You know, so whenever they do something and they try to give us a sorry excuse or you know whatever, he's like, "Fuck you, give me money." You know, so that's what I'm feeling right now from that.
Anywho, let's rate the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I'm gonna give it a solid 7. I think it's really creative. I think it's very memorable. I think it's worth your time. I think it's worth at least a try at a playthrough. I don't know if it's worth a complete playthrough. If it jives with you, then keep playing it. If it doesn't jive with you, it's okay. Just put it down. Don't force yourself into it. But I do think that the day-night cycle should have been a bit long. Like each day should have been longer, especially because you get tools eventually to like lengthen and shorten the day. And so like if you made the day-night cycle long by default, and you just gave us tools to skip certain parts of the day, so that way you're not waiting around, like that would have solved that issue. And then while still being accessible to new players or to people who maybe aren't good at time management or aren't good, or maybe that stresses them out, or you know what I'm saying. So things like that, I think would have honestly just made the game go from a 7 to an 8 immediately. But otherwise, I think it's an acceptable entry to the franchise. I think it's very fun. I think it's different. I like that it's different. Me personally, it's a 7 because I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's not something, but I think it has its moments. It has really high highs and really low lows. That's kind of where I'm at with it. So, Fuse, we'll end with Gabe.
Okay, so based on what I've heard, and regardless of the snot bubble mask, I guess, is stupid. That's the stupid power. By the way it sounds, I'd give it probably about a 7 as well. Just because I did like the music. It doesn't sound like an appealing game to me. If I was going to pick one, like, directly out of all the stuff that we've pretty much talked to, I guess if I was going to pick one, I'd try Skyward Sword or finish Twilight Princess, or try to at least. But I was like, Majora, I hate time cycles. I hate it so much. So that's why for me it'd be one of the lower rating games that would probably be for one of the Zelda games that we've gone over so far. So I'd say like a 7 is being generous for me, but I'm going to stick with
valid.
7.
Okay, yeah. Gabe.
So I would actually do 7 as well. It looks like we're all in agree. 7 cubed.
Wow! Boosted fuse seal approval.
Yeah.
7's all around, baby. Yeah. 7.
I've never beaten the game myself. Like I said earlier, I got to Goron Village, Snow Peak Mountain, whatever place, and so I had enough to dip my toes in the water. I've seen the rest of the game though, from friends, YouTube videos, things like that.
Yeah.
Time and mechanic ruin it. You imagine back when this game first came out. Nope, you didn't have guides online to help you kind of like if you're bad with time management or bad with exploring or whatever. Imagine trying to figure this shit out way back when it first came out. And you don't know that you can slow down time later, so you're just kind of like, oh my, all that kind of stuff. It turns it kind of into a tedious, like, oh my god, bro, I'm halfway through this temple,
Yeah.
and I have to reset again because I did this thing wrong, or oh my god, if blah blah blah. It's just holy shit. But it is redeemed a little bit through the awesome, very inspired side quests, the very unique items with the masks and how that interacts with the world, the music being very just strange and very off-putting, the characters, especially Fuse. I think you'll love this. This is the first time we see him in this game, in the Legend of Zelda right here.
Oh my god.
Do you like him?
Oh yes, Tingle.
my
This is the
goodness.
first instance of Tingle. I forgot about that.
Isn't he
His
beautiful?
name is Tingle?
Tingle.
Yeah,
he is
Tingle.
beautiful. He is beauty.
He returns in Wind Waker and is he in Twilight? I don't think he is. Or is he? Or is he somewhere?
So
I don't
actually, the Tingle
Looks
we
like I
get
could
in
pick
Twilight
him up
Princess,
and throw him like a dart.
Yeah.
Twilight Princess
dude's
Tingle
sharp, man.
is the one. If you remember that hook shot or hook claw shot game, how you upgrade your bow and arrows. He is kind of like in a Tingle outfit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a reference to Tingle.
Right.
Yeah, and then I don't think he's brought back after that.
I think
They
he's-
kind of
yeah.
he kind of gets replaced with like Beetle. Like Beetle has like a similar
Yeah.
vibe to him, but he's just different. So
Right.
Wind Waker is the only time we see both of them in one game, and then from then on out, Beetle's and you just see Beetle from then on in the games. I don't think he's in Twilight, but I think he's in Skyward and he's in both of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So
Right.
yeah,
But yeah, overall
Interesting. Yeah.
sorry.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, good side quests, good characters, music's cool. And
Sure.
I mean, it's a fun game. I think if you don't really care about, if you're good with, time management, all that kind of stuff, it's cool. The themes are awesome too. It's it's an overall, just good Zelda game is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so that's going to do it for our discussion on the Legend of Zelda. I almost said Wind Waker. I was thinking about Wind Waker still. It's going to do it for our discussion of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Please feel free to stick around. We're going to take 5-10 minutes to talk about the Switch 2 rumors, because these are getting spicy. Normally we don't talk about rumors here on the channel, but these are some pretty spicy rumors, and I'm really thinking we're about to see something kind of special coming up in the next few months for Nintendo.
Yes.
So I'm going to take, this is all from a Nintendo Life article. There's a lot of other sources that go with this, so please bear with me. I'm just kind of summarizing, again, what Nintendo Life is saying. So the gist of it is the next there's dev kits out in Spain or somewhere I think in Spain for the next console. And this is the first place that it's leaked that there's dev kits out, which implies that there's a lot of dev kits out everywhere else, aka America, Japan, yada yada yada. And last time that we heard about dev kits, at least during the production of the Switch itself, the Switch Lite, and the Switch OLED model, we got something I think a few months later. So there's a prototype / like almost final model ready for whatever the Switch 2 is. It's out there and being tested, and I think they're about to put this bitch into factory like mass production.
Oh.
So that's really exciting. The person that leaked this claims that we should expect an announcement sometime this month, and I said that's bullshit. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. What I think is my prediction is my somewhat more realistic prediction is we get an announcement September, and at the earliest we get a holiday. At the latest we get an early spring.
Yeah.
And I think early spring is way more likely because, yeah. But they also might wait till like late November or past Christmas time to announce it because they don't want to galvanize Switch sales during the holiday season because people will be like, oh, the
Save
new
my
one's
money.
coming out. Yeah, the new one's coming out in early spring. I'll save my money.
Right.
But the other reason that I think supports the announcement in September is they always announce, at least as of recent, ever since COVID, they announce things the season slash like either fiscal slash season before things come out. So the summer direct was about things coming out in the fall slash winter. The fall direct will probably be about that. Like the direct that we got in March, the spring direct talked about everything that we got this summer. So like Pikmin and all the indie games that came along with that. So I really think that that's what's coming. Some more rumors that aren't as like super solid, but they're just floating around. The new console is apparently very similar. I think it's going to be akin to. These are not solid at all. It's just like they're just like floating
Speculation.
around. This isn't. I don't think it's even on this article. I think I was just talking to somebody about this. It's. I think it's going to be more akin to like an upgrade, like the new 3DS. So there'll just be certain games that you can play on the new one and that you can't play like the old one. Somebody mentioned that there was like the bumpers here have scrolls on them. Like you can scroll wheel. They're like scroll wheels, and you can use those to kind of scroll up and down, or maybe either whether it's like a touchpad or whether it's like a literal wheel, and then you click them in or whatever. I thought that'd actually be kind of neat, especially because like in like Tears of the Kingdom and stuff, when you're scrolling through those fucking menus. Oh my god! If I could just go flick, if I could just flick through the menu like this, that would be really really cool. But yeah, anyways, those are just some rumors with it. I think the strongest rumor right now is the dev kit thing and the announcement stuff. What do you guys think? What are we thinking about this? I'm excited for a new Switch 2 or just whatever the next thing is. I think it's about time. Yada yada yada. So yeah, do tell me. If you start us off.
Give us 60 FPS.
Please.
Yeah, really.
For God, we're begging here, dudes.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Why is this the only console without 60 FPS?
The thing I'm worried about is if they sacrifice the OLED screen for better battery life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really worried they're going to sacrifice that to give us a more powerful system. Because the OLED screen is so nice. Yeah. Something I think would be really cool is if the dock had hardware in it itself, and when you plug it in, so like in handheld mode you get 30 frames, but in docked mode it gives you the consistent 60 frames. I think that'd be really neat. Just like some way. I don't know how you would do that and like how it would go about that, but I think that'd be a really cool way to like.
I feel like in 2023 we definitely have the technology to do that. It just feels like they're just not doing it because they're worried about cost.
Yeah, I was about to say cost is the other factor there because I think the whole selling point of the Switch is it's the cheapest out there. It's literally $300, $200. Like it's not, it's cheap and cheap as far as consoles go. It's accessible and it's cheap.
I mean,
so they have to still keep to that price point, or they have to keep to that mantra / message. Gabe, what about you?
So better hardware. I mean, I know it's going to be an upgrade, but we need better hardware for, yes, 60 FPS. It is 2023. We have the technology. Maybe the console will have to be a little bit fatter. A little bit fatter. Okay, that's console. Cool. It would be nice for it to have better.
Big old Switch.
Oh, big old honky jonkers right there. Look at that big boy. Look at that unit. But just it needs a better CPU and just better graphic process. Just everything. More RAM, bro. Why we got 4 gigs of RAM in the fucking Switch?
Give it a dumpy. It's
cool.
Give it a
dumpy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be. I feel like it could be a little bit thicker.
It could make it. You know, just.
I don't think you could go double, but it could definitely go like a half an inch. Not half an inch. Jesus Christ, that's so big.
Right.
You could like 1.5 or like 0.5 times more of like what its currently thickness is, and I think it would still be a viable thing.
I'm gonna be bold here, lads. I don't even play my Switch in handheld mode anymore. I just slap it on the dock and play it because it's easier that way.
Yeah.
The only time I play in handheld mode is when I'm on travel. Which
exactly. It makes sense.
Travel,
yeah.
So.
But
it's great for. Oh my god, it's like the best airplane. Thing to play on air. It's like literally so nice because I can just set it up on the little like they have.
As long as you make it the main console.
Yes, which it is my main console, so now I'm good. But goddamn, there's some things in just Nintendo's infrastructure just a little bit backwards.
Add a cloud system.
We love you, Nintendo, but please,
Fuck you.
It's tough love, okay?
it's tough love. It's tough love. Exactly.
Get your shit together.
I know. I'm not saying it needs to be obviously, the highest end PC kind of hardware specifications, all that stuff. I'm just saying, like I've heard rumors. Oh, it's going to be as powerful as the PS4, and I'm like, dude, please give it. Just like, come on, just better hardware. Okay, 16 gigs of RAM. Okay, what is my fucking hair doing right here? I haven't showered yet today. God, what is this, dude? What is this? Whatever.
All right. Well.
We got a subpar system, and we're getting subpar games like Scarlet and Violet. Where's the win here? This needs to be a win, or I swear to God, Nintendo. I mean, I'm gonna go over there.
The
and
games have been
shake all your cereal boxes.
I think Moist Critical said it the best, that like Tears of the Kingdom is such a masterpiece that and the only thing that brings it down is the hardware.
Is the hardware? Yeah, I did.
That's literally
more RAM,
it's
better CPU, GPU, better battery.
Like Nintendo's got the games down. They like
I don't
the
care
games
if it
are
jumps
fun.
up to $500. I'll pay it.
Yeah.
Yes, I think the biggest solution that you could see here is there needs to be a affordable, accessible model, and there needs to be a pro model.
Yeah.
And I think that's just and I think that's what the OLED was supposed to be, but I think due to COVID chip shortages, I think that stopped.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we got the OLED. But I think in future models, there needs to be the cheap, accessible model that runs at 30 frames per second, and then there needs to be a beefy model that pro gamers can get. Us pro Nintendo gamers.
Streamers.
Yeah, but if you want like a higher end experience, then you can get that as well from Nintendo.
Exactly.
So, anyways, I think that's a good place to stop it. Thanks everybody again for watching Boost View Podcast. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it was a little bit of different vibe, especially with just the three of us, but hey, we're having a great time regardless. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. 30 likes, 30. We're bumping up. We're upping the ante. I guess 30. I should up the ante on the gift card too. I'll do it next time. If you get us to 30 likes, not only will we give away the $10 gift card, but we'll up the ante even more. We'll give away a $20 gift card next time. So, thanks everybody so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic night. And boys, you got any last nickels?
Give us a good new console. I dare you, Nintendo. I dare you. I dare you. Spot up.
Spot up is garbage.
No, it's not.
All right.
Day it is.
Bye, everybody. Hope you have a great day.
Have a good day.